Well, I want to take day two first because I think it impacts day one in a way that most people aren't realizing or don't think about. Today, Mohammed bin Salman was at the Capitol to meet with high-ranking members of the House, including Speaker Mike Johnson and Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries and other top leadership on both sides of the aisle. He was supposed to have a meeting with senators as well. However, that was pulled reportedly because the Saudis were trying to dictate the terms of that, including who could be in the room. There are some reports that some senators will meet individually with bin Salman. But what's being overlooked here in a broader scheme is Trump is going to need congressional support for a lot of those standout pledges and promises and understandings that were announced yesterday and today, whether they're explicitly done with a vote or just tacitly done by nobody objecting to them. Congress is going to have to go along here. And it's not clear yet, especially with the very narrow majorities that Republicans hold in the House and the Senate, and with the midterm elections coming up and lots of other business to deal with, if Trump can get enough on board to deal with these problems, especially in a lame duck tenure in the White House for Trump. So it's not a given, even if all those things that were announced actually play out, that Congress will actually give their stamp of approval. So that's, I think, something to keep our eyes on beyond just the glitz and glamour and the pomp and circumstance of yesterday in the White House and today at the U.S.-Saudi Economic, or rather the Investment Forum, where Trump just gave comments about a half hour ago or so. But in terms of your first question, let's get to that now. What really stood out? Well, of course, it's a defense pact because, as Natasha mentioned, we're going to have to see how this affects Israel. And that defense pact certainly will play a major role because, remember, there's a pledge to give Israel the qualitative military edge in the region. You give F-35s an undetermined amount, but still F-35s to Saudi Arabia, that qualitative edge just kind of gets wiped away, at least in that particular aspect. So that'll be something to keep our eyes on as well. The tanks and other items, basic military spending, military packages, but the F-35s really stood out for any number of reasons. Beyond that, I think something else to watch for, there were so many different initiatives announced, areas like civil nuclear energy cooperation, critical minerals, AI, which is a big one, which Congress will need to approve the export of those chips. But the biggest thing to watch for, the language that was used in the fact sheets, in these announcements, very vague, very general. Not a whole lot of details. It's not really fleshed out. Now, whether Trump and bin Salman and their people have been working on it, they fleshed out those details, just not ready to announce it yet, that's one thing. But if it's simply a skeletal outline that was kind of thrown together and now they're going to start working on the details, that's something different. That could drag out the timeline of these initiatives months, years, even past the tenure of Trump and right into the election season or at the very least the midterm elections. So I think there's a lot of questions to be asked here as to how concrete those agreements really are, as opposed to just the kind of the flesh that we saw put out on paper over the last couple of days.